Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Every Week We Follow. Today, we're going to be talking about possibly, I would say, the biggest game in recent history for Villa against Celtic. But first off,
the champions.
Yes, Gary, how are you feeling anyway? First,
Yeah, I'm good, mate. What a difference a week makes. This time last week we were talking about the potential qualifying for the top 8, beating Monaco, and fuck me, it's just all gone peak tongue, isn't it? Like, I wasn't nervous about this game up until this week, but now
to be precise, when we last spoke about Scottish football, you said League One standard.
I did.
League One standard. So if that's the case, we should be able to play our youngsters, right?
Absolutely, we should. And everyone, the odds on us winning are low, mate. I wouldn't bet on us because you're getting no money back. Like
I might put a cheeky fiver on Celtic. If I'm honest, it's worth.
What's he saying? Would you bet against us? James would. Like, it's all about the money, right? I know, I understand. Like, this should be a walkover game, but the last week I am just worried about where our ability and tempo are going to come from. We've seen 15 minutes of decent football in a week. Do you know what I mean? And that was the start of the first half against West Ham. Celtic have got everything to play for in this game, and we've got no centre half recognised pairing and I don't know how we're going to cope, because ultimately, if we play like we have played and allow Celtic to grow into the game, just like we did West Ham on Sunday, they've got something to fight for. There's going to be roughly 4,000 angry Glaswegians scattered around Villa Park, apparently, if according to all the emails, are all going to be sitting in the home end as well.
We're going.
We're going. So please, if you're in the Trinity and you're a Celtic fan, right, just come and say hi. Right, it's just a game of football. I love Scotland. Scotland's not like a League One standard. What are you on about? It's Champions League. Scottish football is the best football I've ever seen. Just come and say hi. We can chat about it. Yay.
Talk about how we battered Hibs.
Well, yeah. I like, everything about me says we should win this game, but with the events of this week and Mings being injured, and thank God it doesn't look like it's going to be a lengthy spell out for him, but it just...
No, but there's a lot of, you say that, it's like they're saying like 2 or 3 weeks. I was like, well, that could actually be like 3, 4, 5 games. Like, that's actually,
it's a massive impact, isn't it?
Yeah, mainly because it's not like we're going, oh, okay, Carlos is going to play at centre back for a few weeks. Back. It's like, no, well, at the moment, Luca Dean.
Is Luca Dean the option? Because, I mean, no disrespect to him, because he's been arguably one of our best players this year, but he's not a centre back. He struggled on Sunday massively in that position.
Is Kamara left-footed?
Oh, bloody hell. That is a good question. Right, let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe and tell us that, because I do not know.
Let us know in the comments.
That's terrible. He's our best player and I love him. I don't know. Maybe he's that good that he's both-footed. I don't know. They all should be. They're Premier League footballers. They can't use both feet. What are they doing being employed? McGinn. But even if you put these players, look at, you're losing Mings, who's 6'5", if you put either of those players in, we've got no height, and let's face it, with the brilliant Austin McPhee and his set piece routine, we don't stand a fucking chance, do we?
I can only think he's just going to go to a back 3, with Luca Dean on the left of that, Bogard and Konsa. And then that's the only, for me, that's the only thing that kind of, I think it would have been hard to do that during the game against West Ham and all that kind of stuff. Whereas who's
going to play the left side of that out of Bogard and Konsa?
Well, no, the left side would be Dean.
Okay, so you're playing what? So you're taking Cash out and you're going with Dean, Bogard and Konsa as a back 3.
Yeah, well, the right would probably be McGinn, wouldn't it? And your left would be Maatsen or Rodgers.
Yeah. Do you know what, right? Whatever it will be, I think we're at a stage in the season now and a stage of Emery's tenure where maybe teams have started to work us out a little bit with the way the style we play.
Oh, I think they started to work. I think they worked us out, but at the start of the season, I think they worked us out. If anything, actually, I'd say they worked us out by the end of last season.
That's a fair. I think that's a fair assessment because we weren't very good, were we?
No.
So now it's time for Emery to earn his money. I love him, right? I don't want him to go anywhere. I think he's the man for Villa. So
Yeah.
before you all jump on the bandwagon and go, he's still open to constructive criticism. So now to earn the big bucks and to show us that he's an elite manager, it's time to have a different tactic. It's time to try something to do because we're forced into it now, really, right?
He's not going to do anything wildly different.
No, I don't think it's wildly different. But teams, I think every team should have two styles of play. So because otherwise, you just become too predictable. And this league, teams will figure you out. The coaching is good, like against opposite. Like Graham Potter did it brilliantly against us on Sunday. Right, and so good coaches will come and ultimately cancel us out. So we need something different. I mean, for me, even if you're going to stick to the way you play, then and I've said it numerous times in the last few shows, mate. We've got to up the tempo like we did in the first 20 minutes. That's got to be more consistent. It has to be. And if we can't do that, why can't we do that? Why aren't we fit enough to play at that tempo? Because other teams can do it, the top teams, and which comes back to the point, as I said, in my very kind of somber summary of the game at the end of West Ham, is that maybe we are just where we are, and my expectations are too high. I don't know.
Well, like I think we spoke in we spoke in the West Ham post match, and we said, it's not like we're miles. It's not like in terms of the table, it's not like we're miles off.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's 4 points.
So we are where we're at. Like we're in that group, like that, and it's actually partly we haven't been very good this season, and other teams have really upped their level.
Yeah.
So and that's how it's kind of come to a bit of more of an even match. Whereas last season we were absolutely flying, and there were a lot of teams underperforming. So it ended up where we just looked, but we overachieved. We did. I think most Villa fans would say that. But back to the Celtic game, obviously.
Yes, mate. Come on.
The thing with the centre back thing is, I'm hoping it's not as much of an issue because it should be us on the front foot the majority.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So
I think ultimately, mate, for us to get a result, it's going to be one in midfield. I think Tielemans and Kamara are going to could win us the game. I think. I've been saying this for weeks about my hot take. It's time for Tielemans to not step up because he has been one of our better players, right? But if he can bust that midfield because he did it numerous times on Sunday where he can see that pass through the lines, and that is the key for us. We don't do it enough, and I don't know why. Because every time we do, we always end up with an attempt on goal. Yet we don't do it nowhere near enough during the game. I'd love to see a 40-yard screamer from him to put us 1-0 up, and then just go and win the game comfortably with him dictating it, a man of the match performance.
I'm going for a McGinn screamer.
Oh,
McGinn against Celtic. McGinn, he will literally be like, if
he'll
I
never
don't
be able to go back
see
to Scotland again.
McGinn, like in this, if there's anyone who's going to be like a man possessed in this game, it's got to be him. Like he's going to take this. He's surely got to take this game for the scruff of the neck. He's going to get stuck in. He's going to be like running around like a headless chicken. Probably get injured after 15 minutes.
Well, I was going to say
it's his game. Like he has been waiting for this game since the Champions League draw.
Well, mate, it's England versus Scotland, and these games, whatever happens on Wednesday, it's going to be one hell of a feisty atmosphere and hopefully performance. I hope Villa Park will be bouncing like it was against Bayern Munich. It has to be because the importance of this game, like win, and I think we'll get into the top 8 if we win. I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think we do.
So it's just, can we not only win, but can we go and really batter a Scottish team? And I still say, maybe I'll up it a little bit. Let's say mid-table Premier League team.
Would you batter in a team, are we? Like I can't remember the last game where I was like, we won that easy. Like
mate,
it's always
been comfortable for months.
It's always been dicey. It's always been a bit, and like West Ham should have been like we should have been out of sight by like 20 minutes.
Well, the first after 20 minutes, if we scored a second goal, it's game over, and it'll probably be the same on Wednesday. If we can score first, that's great. But we proved on Sunday, like we score first, and then after 20 minutes, what happened to us? We just kind of like. And I'm not. Maybe that's being critical of West Ham, and maybe we're being critical of Celtic. But you've got to strike while the iron's hot. It's about, and this is where we've struggled all season, where we're not clinical enough. So actually, we even in those moments, if we're only going to have those 20 minutes, right, be clinical then.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? You've got to take a chance because it's costing us massively, man. And as I said at the end of the game of West Ham, I'm not sure what he needs to do to get the rocket that's needed to get these players fucking motivated. Because this week has been one of those weeks where that should have happened naturally. Like you're challenging for the top 8 in the Champions League. You're trying to stay in with the mix of the European football places. And what's required now is not the fact of whether we're good enough to do it, because I think we've got a good enough squad and good enough players within that team to be where we are and be pushing for those places. But we need the desire, we need the work rate, we want it more than anybody else. Where you're not playing for money, you're not playing for the champion. You're playing because you know that you're good enough to do it, and that comes from in there, mate. And I just don't know where all our players on that page.
It shouldn't be a reason, like you said, they should just want to do it anyway. I mean, we all have bad days, right? But unfortunately, they've had quite a few bad days. But is part of it that the competition for places isn't there at the moment because of the injuries and because of all that stuff. So, we aren't going to play anyone else in midfield other than Tielemans and Kamara. I mean, Kamara's amazing. Kamara is absolute different gravy. Like, the guy is just
standard,
unbelievable.
Mate.
That hair, the wonderful hair, it's just amazing. He's unbelievable. Tielemans, he is one of those players where I feel like sometimes he can go missing. Sometimes he has absolute worldies. He's very good. McGinn is the kind of engine, and obviously he's just come back, but there's no Barkley, there's no Onana, there's none of them pushing them. No. Right wing, you got Bailey. Marlon can't play, so it's going to be Bailey or McGinn, unless he decides to play McGinn on that right wing. Rodgers needed a rest. Did he play? Yeah, he played. No, he still needs a rest probably, but he's going to play.
Well, he came off, didn't he, with 20 minutes to go? But
he'll play. Ramsey will play. All these players. Right, it's we know this. We know the starting 11. I can't. If we go through it, starting 11 will be Martinez. The question is the defense, right? So the question is whether it's whether he plays a back 4 and he goes Maatsen, Dean, Concert and Cash, or whether he does go with the back 3 and he plays Dean, Concert, and Bogard, maybe. Or whether he puts Bogard in. Maybe he's worked with Bogard and gone, use your left foot. And maybe he's worked with him so he can play left centre back. I still, this thing with the whole balance and he can't play that, I'm like, sorry. It's been decades of years where 2 right footers have played centre back. Why is it all of a sudden, oh no, we've got to play a left back at left centre back because he's got to use his left foot. Just instead of squaring it that way, just get the ball and just hit it that way. Or as a pro footballer, pop it onto your left and just square it out. Square it out there.
Mate, come on. Even the average person knows the amount of work that goes into being a pro footballer, right? And if you can't use your foot to a standard in the Premier League where you can play on your weaker side, right? Even me and my grassroots Sunday League shit level would be able to do that.
They're not having to fucking ping, 60, 70 yard balls. They're literally just playing it from here to there.
Yeah. It's a bizarre excuse to say. I found that really weird that Emery said that on Sunday, that he can't play left centre back, and then to put, even though he can play centre back, but okay, so Konza can't play left centre back either then, because one of them should be able to, because it just says, does he not trust these players? Does he not?
Maybe
there's something a bit of a miss.
Luca Dean has done left centre back apparently before. He's played a few games, PSG and whatever. But that's PSG. It's not quite the same, is it? It's not. It's not quite.
Mate, whether he's done it before or not, it didn't fit him on Sunday. We look vulnerable, and if you look at the goal, we're just all over the place. I've watched that goal back about a million times.
Matthew's got a lot to answer for as well, because he hasn't. Recently, he's not been up to standard, especially defensively. He has not been good enough.
Mate, I think it's got to be difficult for him because we've talked about this before, but he signed on probably expecting to take Dina's place, and that didn't happen. And he's been on the bench, and you're coming on with 10, 15 minutes. Your standard of play is not going to be up. That guy needs to run.
Yeah, I know, but he started against Monaco and got absolutely battered. Oh no, was it Marco? No, he started against Arsenal. Got absolutely rinsed by Martinez.
Yeah, he got rinsed, didn't he?
And it's like, come on, like.
The thing is, that for me is just not being up to the pace. When you come on with only 20 minutes, like you can almost get away with it. But when you're starting a game and you're not, and you haven't played 90 minutes at all, right?
Yeah.
It's against an Arsenal side that we knew we're going to have a lot of possession and dominate the ball. You are going to struggle, and he did.
Yeah.
And but I like him as a player. I don't. Again, like it's credit to Dino. We spoke about that, but at some point he's going to get frustrated, and already is, and the level of performance isn't there. And what he needs is a run of games to kind of have a good performance and put it in. But I don't know, like you say, it just picks itself, doesn't it? So Wednesday is going to be again a case of, can we get ourselves up for it? Can we be up for it to put ourselves in a brilliant position?
The crowd's got to play its part there as well. Like
it has
again,
to. Come
West
on, Villa
Ham,
boys. Come on.
Again, West Ham was drab. Like the first 15 minutes when we were playing well, it was a good atmosphere and everyone was buzzing.
Yeah,
And then it just went dead. I was like, man,
he went really quiet, didn't he?
I got a chant going. The whole I got a chant going wider. So it started in the whole end, the usual Unai Emery's Clan Army. Right. And they started that. And then I started doing it, just sat on my own in Lower Trinity, started doing it. People started doing it around me. And then all of a sudden I was like, I got this going. Yeah, cool. Yeah. But within 20 seconds,
gone. Yeah.
It's just like, come on, man. Like, you're saying if the players can't get up for it on Wednesday, if the fans can't get up for it on Wednesday, then what hope have we got? Like, we have to be loud. There has to be pyrotechnics. Get the flares out. Get it all go like flags. You'll get a flag. We'll get another one of these. We'll get another one of these flags, guaranteed.
Yeah. But we better, and not a poster like we did in the Bologna game. Fucking.
But anyway, but
if we're not loud on that point, mate, the Celtic fans will take over because they are going to sing. It's going to be mental, and so I've no doubt that Villa faithful will not let us down. Like, let's get it up to we were against Bayern Munich, because the atmosphere of that Bayern Munich game was sensational.
I think the only two games they've ever, for me, got close to that was Man City, where we beat them 1-0.
Yeah,
and the Everton game, which was the first game back in the Premier League.
Yeah, remember that? My ears were killing for days after that. Yeah.
The entire game was just I swear there was like a 20-minute period where we just sang that. Like, unbelievable.
The thing is, but how sad is that out of that Everton game was 6 years ago, and that so we've got two memories of fucking the atmosphere being electric.
5 years. Well, okay, three memories because it's Bayern as well. But but anyway, so predictions. So Celtic, they have won 2 of their Champions League results. They beat Slovan Bratislava 5-1.
Yeah.
And most recently, obviously, the last game they beat Young Boys 1-0. They also got battered by Dortmund 7-1.
Yeah, I watched that game.
But the rest of them drew with Atalanta 0-0, drew with Club Brugge 1-1, and drew with Zagreb 0-0. So they don't other than the Dortmund game, they don't concede many.
So I'm interested. It'll be interesting to see how they set up. I think they're going to come apart the buzz, because I think a draw will probably be enough.
They'll play on the counter.
Yeah. So it highlights our tempo again. Can we move the ball quick enough to move them around to create chances? Because it makes sense for them that they've got a little bit of pace up front. I think with their they've got that Jota back, haven't they? From whatever he's re-signed, whatever.
Yeah.
I think they'll look to it on the counter attack, and that makes sense for them.
I don't know, we have to use him though, right? Because he's only just come in. So
but but the signings can galvanise teams. Like that's what I'm hoping will happen for us. It's going to be. I sense it'll be frustrating, and that's what I worry about the crowd, because if we can't grab an early goal and they do get into the game and they set up like with 8 men, 9 men behind the ball, and we do our usual ticky-tacky crap at the back.
All
that
kind of shit.
We've got to start like we did against West Ham, because West Ham didn't have an answer. If we do that, Celtic won't have an answer for it, because you can't. It's difficult to defend when you move the ball that quickly. So it's a hard thing to do. I'm not saying it's not, but they will come for that draw, and they'll probably, and everything could be on the line. Their fans will be behind them, so we have to match that. But if we can score first, right, I think it opens up the game,
Yeah,
and I think we can beat them comfortably then.
Scoring first is massive. And
So
to be honest, scoring first for Villa is always massive. Which is why I thought, oh, West Ham. I was like, finally, we've gone ahead, but didn't quite pan out. But so, what's your prediction?
So my prediction, and I'm going to just put it out there. I'm going to go 3-0 Villa. I am.
Ooh.
Right.
He's going for the League One. He's going for the League One shout.
I'm going for the League One shout because I'm a naive idiot who gets the butterflies on Champions League Wednesdays and just go, it's all going to be good. All our problems have been solved from Sunday to Wednesday, and we're going to turn up and smash these League One team. Right? Oof. Not really. Please be nice to me if you're a Celtic fan.
You know the title of this video is going to be they're a League One team.
Yeah.
Aston Villa playing the Champions League against the League One side.
League One team. As quoted by Gaz. So yeah, 3-0. Tillemans to score screamer, McGinn to get on the score sheet, and us to go absolutely mental. And hopefully Watkins can bag a goal as well. That's my prediction.
I'm not going to predict it, but I can see a draw. Like I can easily see a draw here.
You're so sensible. A boring 0-0.
A 0-0. Oh, start there for a 0-0. I'm going to go for a 2-1. 2-1.
Say again, sorry.
2-1.
2-1. I was going to go 2-1, but I've predicted 2-1 for the last 4 games, and I just thought I've got to break the cycle. So
I'm going to go for 2-1. I've already said John McGinn to score belter. I'm still going to go with that. The other one, I keep wanting a defender to score. I can't remember the last time a defender got a goal. Yeah. So like mate, I'll have Ezri Konsa rising like a sand.
The reason why that is, mate, is because most defenders score goals from set pieces, and I don't know if you've seen our set pieces recently. Oh, Jesus.
Like so in West Ham, Luca Dean was on the right wing at one point, so you never know. But anyway, right. So you're going for a 3-0. I'm going for 2-1.
Comprehensive 3-0 thrashing. That's what I'm going for.
Nice. Cool. We might as well do like a quick couple of minutes on transfers.
Well, only because it's been
chaos.
It's been chaos in the last 24 hours, 48 hours.
Yeah, I think we left the game, or maybe I said during the West Ham game, I said, we're going to be held to ransom now for
you did.
Because we absolutely need one. We can't afford not to have one. So it looks like Disassi from Chelsea.
I did read that Wolves are putting a bid for him, and like I'm on a Facebook group that kind of has all the West Midlands clubs.
You think they've just got confused with like the location of where it is?
Deluded, mate. Like just like why would you like? Come on, like bless them. So
Disassi centre back. There's also from Chelsea, Joao Felix, which has come in the past couple of days, since yesterday.
Yeah.
Which is from Fabrizio as well, so that's got legs. But I think he said simply that like we're interested, which I'm like, we're interested in everyone. In reality,
I mean,
several clubs.
In reality, I mean, I wouldn't say no.
His wages will be insane.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And if there's any of this crap about Duran being like going the other way or whatever, absolutely freaking not.
So that was on TalkSport this morning. Ali McCoist was talking about it, and they were basically saying that it is getting traction. That if you were going to look at the 2 strikers at Villa, it's Duran that's definitely going over Watkins.
I don't think either of them are going.
Well, mate,
he's not going anywhere. I mean, we've had this conversation. We've had this discussion. I mean, he's young as well, right? So I'm pretty sure that all this chat at this time will be having an effect on his game, right? But once January's over, then
we can focus on the football.
We need to snuff out any speculation for the summer or anything. Everything needs to be like embargoed or whatever. No chat about Duran.
But this is Duran. Like, he'll do what the fuck he wants. He'll mate, he's probably ringing clubs himself. Do you know what I mean? Like going, I don't need an agent, mate.
Well, I don't know. But
we've got to get his head in the game. Like,
I'm just going to say Duran ain't going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. And I will say, if he does in the next 4 or 5 days, whatever it is, I'll eat my I don't know, I'll eat something,
Yeah.
but absolutely not. Absolutely, he's not going anywhere.
No,
Buendia,
I don't think that will happen either. But that's just the speculation that's being batted around. I think on
I think it's
many
just
media outlets.
clickbait. It's just good news. It's a
Yeah,
talking point. I think Buendia going makes sense
like,
if we can replace. I mean, Marlon kind of plays off the striker a little bit. So
he was definitely narrow in the minutes he got on West Ham, wasn't he? He
yeah,
wasn't
so
winning the
maybe he's
subside.
looking more. Maybe that's more of an option there. But
Yeah, maybe.
Buendia, I imagine. I think I said to you guys that the contract extension was simply so that the loan can happen and we get a bigger fee.
Yeah.
I think this is probably already in the works. And then, so yeah, I mean, great move for him. I think it's a fantastic move. If he can play, brilliant.
I wish him all the best, because there's a half decent player in there. I just don't think it's good enough for the Premier League. Even when he, like last week when he played against Monaco, he was arguably our best player, but there were still times that he didn't distribute the ball as well as he
Well,
could
he
have
plays
done.
that risky pass, doesn't he? I've always said he plays the risky
Yeah.
pass. Unfortunately, he does give the ball away a
But
lot.
and there's nothing wrong with trying the risky pass, providing that is the only pass that's on. But
Yeah, there's
many
sometimes
times
a
when
simple
he
ball.
makes the wrong decision, there's a simple ball that could create something, he doesn't make it. So for that, and that's been an ongoing thing in
That's
his
the
style
difference
of
with him
play.
and Tielemans. That's the difference with him and Tielemans. Is
Yeah,
that Tielemans knows when to play the simple ball and he
yeah.
knows when to play that ball cutting through the line. So, and then Juan Foyth. Juan
From
Foyth.
Villarreal.
Yeah, but
Yes.
Foyth doesn't sound Argentinian, does it?
Well, no, maybe he's from Sheffield.
Yeah, that classic Sheffield name, Foyth. Anyway, so he's a right back by the looks of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we had this issue with right back, but now I feel like we're signing about 5 right backs.
Well, apparently Emery's a big fan of his. There's a quote from
Isn't
obviously.
it a loan to the end of the season? I've heard.
Yeah, yes, I did read something like that with a potential move. I mean, I don't know. At this point, maybe we're just trying to be astute in the fact that, like as you said, we could well be held to ransom if we try and buy somebody. So I think we're trying to be a little bit clever in making sure that that doesn't happen, because it almost becomes like a panic buy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But we do need an option. Cash needs some challenging,
Well, we've
really.
got Garcia, haven't we? But obviously he's young.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I said to you off air, and I think what's happened is that he's a replacement for Najalkovic, and then this guy will probably be direct competition for cash. And there's nothing wrong with that because we need it because everyone's looking fucked at the moment. We need some absolute, like I say, the team needs a rocket.
Play with Emery a lot, so he knows the whole system. He can slot straight in.
So he could fit in pretty quickly without having to go through. This is how we play, that. So it kind of makes sense. I don't know anything about him. I don't know if he's any good. It's in Emery we trust.
So,
From Sheffield, I better check. I'll ask my friends from Sheffield, mate, see if they know anything about him.
Yeah. Anyway, on that note, probably call it a day for that one. As always, guys, if you loved it, give it a little subscribe. Pop your notifications out as well because we do sometimes go live and we do pop like shorts out during the game and stuff as well. So good to get notified about that. We will be doing a match day vlog from the Celtic game, and then I'll be spending probably a bajillion hours trying to edit it the next evening, which just kills me. But anyway,
and then
as always, guys,
all that hard work into little bits to put it on TikTok, which is what I'm doing today.
Yeah, sure, brilliant.
Keep checking on TikTok for little snippets of it. Mate. I guess. Come on, Villa fans, just one last message. Make sure you get it fucking rocking on Wednesday. We have to win this game.
Oh.
The music is in itself. Le champion.
Anyway, on that note, catch you in a bit.
Peace.